Let me say that each year when the conference ends, I am in principle, of course, first and foremost, a happy man. And I am a happy man because most of the speakers, the guests which we had invited actually came. A few didn't. We had some cancellations like Bibi Netanyahu, who had to cancel. We had Emmanuel Macron who had to cancel. But we had so many others. We had the president of Armenia. We had presidents and prime ministers from Europe and beyond. And let me summarize this conference as follows. I think this weekend has demonstrated once again that we have a world that has a real problem, that international order is not guaranteed, that efforts need to be made to make sure that international law is respected, that international institutions are not weakened, that efforts are made by all to end existing conflicts, and that, of course, we might take as an encouragement that here and there, actually, some conflicts are being ended successfully. And I was so pleased that we were able to award our annual award to the Prime Ministers of Greece and now called North Macedonia, because after 25 or 27 years, they found a way against domestic opposition in both countries to agree and to resolve this long-standing name dispute. So this was a good reason for us to celebrate the success of diplomacy, and this is what this conference is all about. We try to eliminate the need to use military force. We try to plead in favor of conflict solutions. We try to help those that need help in resolving existing conflicts, and we try to promote global stability and the rule of law.
We have a conflict in our region, so Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. What opinion do you have about it?
Well, this is another one of these long-standing conflicts, of course, and it is one that is particularly difficult to resolve because a military force was used in the conduct of this conflict. So I'm sure there is a lot of bad blood involved, and huge political efforts are required. I was extremely pleased that when we had our last important conference in Minsk, the president of Armenia agreed to participate in a discussion with counterparts from Azerbaijan to discuss the way forward. And I continue to hope that at some point, hopefully in the near future, we can celebrate kind of a success story like we did with Greece and Macedonia here in Munich. And if it's not, 12 months from now, maybe it's 24 months from now. Diplomacy requires determination, but it always also requires patience. And I think both need now to be applied.
Well, in principle, I think even this year, the Munich Security Conference had invited both the President of Azerbaijan to be here and the Prime Minister of Armenia, but it didn't work this time, maybe next year.
That's what I hope. Yeah. That's what I hope for.
I think exactly. Working for peace and prosperity is never late.
Never too late, and you can't work hard enough for it, which is the original purpose of this meeting. And let me conclude by saying that it's good that the efforts made each year here at this weekend and preparing for this weekend are increasingly recognized and appreciated also by countries far away from Europe. We had this year the highest level possible in terms of participation from such countries as China, for example. And it was also, I think, a good signal, given the existing transatlantic tensions, that such a large U.S. congressional delegation came to Munich, demonstrating continued American commitment to peace, stability, and prosperity on the European continent, which is something which we tended to take for granted for 70 years. It's probably not to be taken for granted. We need to work to maintain it.